Hello, accounting students. This is Mrs. Bloomquist, and right now we are looking at on the 3-1 on the work together and on your own. What you'll probably notice is that there is this introduction to the online work papers general journal. So I'm going to click on this, and this introduction to the online work papers has some really good information that you're going to be carrying forward and using in Aplia around the online work papers for the rest of the year. So you just want to make sure that you're very careful and that you understand some of the information that's here. You'll see we've got images from the text right here that you can scroll through. We've got the January transactions that we would be looking at, and then we also have our chart of accounts for our business for Delgado Web Services. So if we go from the images from the text, what you'll see as you scroll down here is that it's telling us that the problem introduces us to the way that we're going to be journalizing and how the transactions are then graded in the online work papers. So for problems that require you to journalize transactions, the online work papers typically give you a list of transactions and the chart of accounts, and you should be able to see that for each problem that you see. Okay, so there are two images of the journal transactions from your text in the question assets, and the following really just shows us what's going on. So it says in the online work papers, you enter the date in a single cell rather than having to do the information in multiple cells. You don't have to enter the year in, and for the online work papers, you enter debit and credit amounts in a single cell. You don't actually have to enter a unique one digit per cell. So as you look at this transaction, this is one cell right here for the January 2. Some problems may differ a little bit from your text, so make sure you're just reading the directions from the online section very carefully. You can use your tab key to move from cell to cell. The text entries that you type in, like here where you would type in cash, those are compared against a list of possible answers. So if your answer turns red, you either don't have the right account or you made some kind of spelling error. And again, you would go back and reference the chart of accounts to see what possible accounts you might want to use for your transaction. Then going forward, the 3-letter abbreviation is what's used for month, always. You only need to enter the month for the first entry on the page. So once you have that first entry on the page, you do not have to keep typing in the month. The account title automatically indents when you enter an amount in the credit column. So when we do our debits first, and then when it gets to the credit, it automatically indents that for us so we can see that all of our debits are flush with the left here, and then our credits are all tapped in. For transactions that you're journalizing, you will not be able to enter anything in this post reference column right here. You're not posting until chapter 4. So right now we're just entering in these transactions. Commas get inserted automatically. Every time you enter a date, the work papers assume you're starting a fresh new transaction. Problems might have more than one journal page, so you might have to look from page to page, and then there'll always be the tabs at the top. And the journal has specialized grading that you learn more about in the next step. So what you can see is that we're just going to answer a couple questions here about that information, and then you'll see now you try it, and here is where you'll actually start typing in the information. You move on then to the next step, and then it goes on to talk a little bit more about grading. So there are algorithms that are at play that look at what you typed and compare it to possible answers to try to make sure that you get all the credit that you really should. You should go ahead and make sure that you click through the date information, the account title, the document number, debit and credit parts, anything else that might be considered grading, and then at a glance. Now again, the feedback part is if you get things wrong, that you can go ahead and look at those answers. You can also click on the top left-hand corner for a rejoinder. Then if there's nothing there, then it's the joinder exists then even if the corner is not shaded red. So you can click on the top corner to see them if they're there. Again, this is really just giving you possible grading and information as we move forward in Aplia here, and you can see like where things are marked in red and what's missing and where you might have troubles with things. Just remember that all of the things that you're doing in Aplia up until test day are all formative. So as you're learning the software, if you're making small little mistakes, don't let that cause you to stop working in Aplia or to cause you to get frustrated. Stop and let me know if you've got stuff like that going on. But looking through and taking the time to really look at how these things are graded will probably help you in the long run. So from here, you can go ahead and grab the 3-1 work together and move forward.